People say McDonald's fries used to taste better. And the weird part is, they might be right. Not because everyone on the internet is secretly a food critic, not because every childhood memory comes with a side of nostalgia, but because the McDonald's French fry really did change. Today, McDonald's fries are one of the most recognizable foods in America. You know the box, you know the smell, you know that first fry you eat in the car before you even make it home. But the fry people remember from decades ago was not exactly the same fry you get today. The old McDonald's fry had a secret weapon: beef fat. Before McDonald's fries became a global fast food icon, they were just one piece of a much bigger American machine: the burger, the Coke, and the fries. The combo that somehow became a national language. You could be on a road trip, at a mall, in an airport, or sitting in the back seat as a kid. And that little red box of fries meant the same thing. Hot, salty, crispy, familiar. But that familiar taste was engineered. It was not an accident. McDonald's did not become McDonald's because it made the fanciest food in America. It became McDonald's because it made food that was predictable. The same burger, the same fries, the same experience, again and again and again. That was the real genius. Ray Kroc understood that fast food was not just about speed, it was about trust. If a customer walked into a McDonald's in Illinois, California, or Florida, the food needed to feel like it came from the same place. And the fries were a huge part of that promise. A bad fry is forgettable. A great fry becomes the reason you go back. In the early McDonald's system, fries were serious business. Potatoes had to be the right kind. They had to be cut the right way. They had to be rinsed, dried, cooked, and salted with obsessive consistency. But the flavor that older customers still talk about came from the cooking fat. For decades, McDonald's cooked its fries in a mixture that included beef tallow. That gave the fries a rich, savory, almost meaty depth. They were still potatoes, but they carried a flavor that felt bigger than potatoes. This is why people say the old fries were different. They were. They had a kind of old-school fast food intensity, crispy outside, soft inside, salty, hot, and carrying that beef fat flavor in the background. It was not subtle. It was not health food. It was not trying to be. It was a fry built for memory. And in America, memory is one of the most powerful flavors there is. But then the world around fast food changed. By the 1980s, Americans were paying more attention to fat, cholesterol, heart health, and what exactly was going into their food. Fast food chains were under pressure. Beef tallow, once part of the magic, became part of the problem. So McDonald's changed the oil. In 1990, McDonald's announced that it would move away from cooking fries in beef fat and switch to vegetable oil. On paper, this made sense. It sounded modern. It sounded healthier. It sounded like the future. But flavor does not always follow public relations. When McDonald's changed the oil, something changed in the taste. Customers noticed. Some people accepted it. Some people did not. And a whole generation of fast food fans started talking about the old fries like they were a lost American artifact. The strange thing is that McDonald's did not completely walk away from the old flavor profile, because if you look at McDonald's fries in the United States today, they are not just potatoes, oil, and salt. They also include natural beef flavor. That detail surprises a lot of people. Modern McDonald's fries are cooked in vegetable oil, but the flavor system still carries a connection to that older beefy taste. It is like the company changed the engine but tried to keep the memory of the original sound. And that is where the story gets even stranger. For most people, a fry is just a fry. But for vegetarians, Hindus, and people with certain dietary or religious restrictions, that beef flavor became a very serious issue. In the early 2000s, McDonald's faced lawsuits after customers claimed they had been misled about whether the fries were vegetarian. The company eventually settled, and the controversy became one of the clearest examples of how complicated fast food had become. Because by that point, a French fry was no longer just a potato. It was branding. It was chemistry. It was memory. It was trust. Think about how strange that is. A simple potato strip became so important that changing the fat could become a national conversation. That is the power of McDonald's fries. They are not the best fries in the world in a fancy restaurant sense. They are not hand-cut Belgian fries. They are not steakhouse fries. They are not trying to be artisanal. They are something else. They are industrial nostalgia. They are designed to taste the same wherever you go. They are designed to hit fast. Salt, heat, crunch, softness, smell. And smell may be the most important part. Anyone who has ever sat in a car with a fresh bag of McDonald's knows this. The smell fills the space before you even open the box. It is not just hunger. It is anticipation. That smell tells your brain, you know this. And once a food becomes that familiar, people become protective of it. That is why the old beef tallow fry still has a kind of legendary status. It represents a version of McDonald's that felt a little more intense, a little less polished, a little more like the fast food America remembers from before everything became optimized and explained. But the truth is, McDonald's was always optimized. Even the old fry was part of a system. The company's success was built on making food repeatable. A fry could not be amazing one day and disappointing the next. It had to be reliable. That meant controlling the potato, the cut, the oil, the cooking time, the salt, and even the training of the people making it. The fry was not just cooked, it was managed. That is the real story behind McDonald's fries. The magic was never just beef fat. It was the combination of flavor and standardization. Beef tallow gave the old fry its depth, but the McDonald's system gave it reach. Without the system, it would just be a good fry in one restaurant. With the system, it became a food memory shared by millions of people. That is how a side dish becomes a symbol. And once something becomes a symbol, every change feels personal. When McDonald's changed the oil, it was not just changing an ingredient. It was changing a memory people thought they owned. That is why people still ask, why did McDonald's fries used to taste better? The answer is partly science, partly nostalgia, and partly American culture. Yes, the oil changed. Yes, the flavor changed. Yes, the old beef fat fries probably did taste richer. But also, people remember eating those fries at a specific time in their lives. After school, on road trips, at birthday parties, after Little League games, in the back seat while their parents drove home. The fry was attached to a moment, and food attached to a moment is almost impossible to beat. Modern McDonald's fries still sell in massive numbers. People still crave them. People still eat them in the car before touching the burger. People still complain when they are cold, because a cold McDonald's fry is one of the saddest objects in fast food. But the old fry lives in American memory because it feels like something that disappeared. A recipe changed, a flavor shifted, a company moved with the times, and a whole country kept chasing the taste it remembered. That is why this story matters. It is not really about whether one fry is better than another. It is about how fast food became emotional. McDonald's fries are cheap, simple, and everywhere. But they carry one of the biggest lessons in American food history. People do not just love food because of what it is. They love food because of when it reached them, because of where they were, because of who handed it to them, because of the smell in the car, because of the salt on their fingers, because of the little red box. So when someone says McDonald's fries used to taste better, they may be talking about beef fat. They may be talking about vegetable oil. They may be talking about natural beef flavor. But they may also be talking about being 8 years old, sitting in the back seat, eating fries before they got cold, and believing that a paper bag from a drive-thru was one of the best things in the world. That is the weird history of McDonald's fries. A potato strip cooked in beef fat, redesigned for a health-conscious era, wrapped in controversy, rebuilt with flavor chemistry, and somehow still sitting next to a Coke as one of the most American foods ever made. Because a McDonald's fry is not just crispy potato. It is nostalgia engineered at scale, and that may be the real secret ingredient.